Do you want to power up your investments while powering down pollution? We live in a world that is becoming increasingly aware of the need to protect our environment, and one of the best ways to do that is by investing in green energy sources like solar, wind, and hydroelectric power. Not only are these renewable energy sources better for the planet, but investing in green energy companies can also be great for your wallet. Let us explain how. The bright future of renewable energy. For decades, fossil fuels like oil, gas, and coal were the dominant sources for generating electricity. However, these non-renewable resources are major contributors to greenhouse gas emissions that cause climate change, air pollution, and environmental degradation. Renewable energy from sources like the sun, wind, and flowing water provide much cleaner alternatives with a vastly lower environmental impact. Unlike finite fossil fuels that must be burned for energy, renewables rely on natural processes that are constantly replenished. And the demand for renewable energy is absolutely skyrocketing as countries, companies, and individuals all around the world commit to reducing their carbon footprints and mitigating climate change risks. The growth potential is massive. Renewables still only account for about 20% of US electricity generation, but that share is rising rapidly. Seizing the financial opportunity. As demand for clean, renewable power continues its exponential growth trajectory, companies that generate green energy or manufacture supporting products and services are positioned for generational opportunity over the long term. Investing in these forward-looking businesses allows you to directly profit from supporting positive environmental impact. Your investment capital helps finance the development, construction, and operation of solar farms, wind turbine installations, hydroelectric dams, and other sustainable energy projects replacing fossil fuels. And with renewable energy still a relatively young and emerging industry compared to centuries-old drilling and mining operations, getting in now could allow you to capitalize on the multi-decade growth potential as the world transitions to cleaner energy at an accelerated pace. The financial upside could be remarkable for innovators and leaders across the renewables space. For example, the cost of solar power has plummeted by over 80% over just the past decade as the technology improves and scale increases. Solar is now the cheapest source of new electricity generation across most of the world in many regions, and those economics will only continue improving. On the wind power front, the U.S. inland is a gold mine of potential, with policies favoring tax incentives and wind corridors ripe for new farm installations. Globally, the offshore wind power market is just taking off, with projections for a stunning 20% annual growth rate through 2030, led by major developments across Europe and Asia. Understanding the challenges and risks. Like any transformative sector, there are challenges and risks to carefully consider before investing in renewable energy. A key risk is the industry's reliance on favorable government policies, financial incentives like tax credits, and regulations around emission standards, all of which could potentially change over time with new administrations or shifts in political priorities. While renewables are rapidly becoming cost competitive and even cheaper than fossil fuels in many regions, there are still some areas where traditional oil, gas, and coal remain less expensive sources of electricity in the near term. This dynamic could hamper more rapid large-scale adoption until the financials fully flip across the board. Some critics also argue that solar and wind are not yet capable of fully replacing traditional baseload power sources at scale due to intermittency limitations from cloudy days and lack of wind. Overcoming these reliability challenges will likely require continued technological breakthroughs and infrastructure build-out of better battery storage systems and high-voltage transmission grids to move renewable power over long distances. On the manufacturing side, supply chain constraints from pandemics, trade disputes, and shortages of key materials like polysilicon and rare earth minerals used in solar components and wind turbines have caused disruptions and cost pressures. Ramping up production capacity will be critical to meet soaring global demand without logistical bottlenecks. Smart investors will keep a very close watch on these evolving opportunities, risks, and potential roadblocks while still recognizing the compelling secular drivers and multi-decade growth runway ahead for the renewable energy megatrend around the world. Finding the right green investment path. With clean, sustainable energy a rising force across so many sectors and technologies, there is a buffet of potential investment vehicles to consider across areas like solar, wind, hydroelectric, geothermal, biofuels, hydrogen, and more. One option is investing directly in the companies that develop, build, and operate large renewable power generation plants and projects like the world's biggest solar farms, offshore wind installations, or hydroelectric dam facilities. These companies generate revenues and profits by selling the clean electricity produced from those renewable sources, often aided by valuable government subsidies and tax incentives. Some potential leaders to research in this space include industry stalwarts like NextEra Energy, the world's largest generator of wind and solar power, as well as emerging players like Ørsted, which has rapidly become a global leader in offshore wind farms. You could also consider investing in the manufacturers of key components for the renewable energy industry like solar cells and panels, wind turbines, lithium-ion batteries for storing electricity, and related equipment. As utility-scale solar, wind, and other renewable energy projects continue ramping up worldwide, the demand for these products and services is rapidly growing in lockstep. Some top picks here could include companies like Enphase Energy for microinverters that improve solar panel efficiency, First Solar, which is a leader in thin-film photovoltaic module manufacturing, and Danish firm Vestas Wind Systems, which commands over 16% of the global wind turbine market. For a diversified approach, exchange-traded funds, ETFs, and mutual funds offer a way to invest across dozens or even hundreds of clean energy holdings through a single product. These funds give you broad exposure across companies involved in all aspects of the renewable energy supply chain, from manufacturing to installation to financing. This basket strategy allows you to participate in the overall growth of the renewables megatrend while mitigating your risk compared to owning just a few individual stocks. Many of these funds are specifically targeted at areas like solar, wind, hydrogen, or a broader global mix. Some of the top clean energy ETFs to consider include the Invesco Solar ETF, TAN, First Trust Global Wind Energy ETF, FAN, the Shares Global Clean Energy ETF, ICLN, and SPDRS and Kensho Clean Power ETF, CNRG. As with any investment, thoroughly research the fundamentals of any potential fund, its strategy, holdings, and risks before investing. Are you energized to invest green today? The future quite literally belongs to the energy sources and investors who recognize the necessity and potential of environmentally sustainable power. Getting in now on renewable energy can help power your wealth while quite literally powering a cleaner tomorrow for the planet. Whether investing in individual wind/solar companies, diversified clean energy funds, or a blend of various green opportunities, allocating to this space deserves serious consideration in any forward-looking portfolio. Start researching the top renewable energy investment options today. Identify quality companies with strong fundamentals, technological advantages, and a credible path for growth aligned with the global push for carbon neutrality. A green portfolio can help give you the potential to achieve green returns. Like this video if you're ready to capitalize on going green with your investments. Share it with other conscious investors, and subscribe for more money-making videos that are good for your bottom line and the earth.